Hello and welcome to the PvP job action breakdown from the job guide. Changes coming in Shadowbringers. We're just going to look over each of the jobs and their PvP changes. I don't think this video will take 2 hours like the previous one did, but let's find out. So in PvP, potency has been increased for Fast Blade from 750 to 1000. Of course, we also know that range on PvP moves has been increased for melee PvP attacks to 5 yalms. So you'll be able to hit from further away and do more damage on Paladin with Fast Blade, because we're starting with Paladin. Riot Blade, potency has been increased from 1000 to 1200. Combo potency restore 1000 MP has been added. That'll be really useful in PvP. Potency has been increased from 1250 to 400 on Royal Authority, and it no longer restores MP. So Riot Blade does, Royal Authority does not. That's the thing. Holy Spirit no longer gives silence, because silence isn't in the game anymore. And the additional effect absorbs 100% of damage dealt as HP has been added. That's really cool. Increased oath gauge has been changed from 5 to 10. Paladin will be a little bit more stout in PvP because of that. Added Holy Circle. Unexpected damage with a potency of 1000 to all nearby enemies. Absorbs 50% of damage dealt as HP and increases the oath gauge by 10. And added Confiteor. Deals unexpected damage with a potency of 2000 to target and all enemies nearby it. Lowers target's damage dealt by 10%. For duration for 10 seconds, but cost 50 oath gauge. If you are hearing these potencies that have never played PvP before and are like, whoa, that's insane. Everybody has crazy high potencies like this. 2000 is pretty nice, though. Confiteor is going to hit hard. Shield Bash, its potency has been increased from 500 to 800. Recast time has been increased from 5 to 30 seconds. It no longer increases your oath gauge, but it now has a maximum of 2 charges. Requiescat, Cat, the effect potency increases up to 200% as MP nears maximum has been changed to potency increases up to 200% as MP decreases. Additional effect increases attack magic potency and healing potency by 25% has been removed. The additional effect reduces MP cost of all spells to 0 has been changed. It reduces MP cost of all spells to 0 and allows spells to be cast immediately. Paladin's going to be really good in PvP with these changes. Intervene, rushes target, and delivers an attack with a potency of 600. So effect grants 3 stacks of Sword Oath. Duration for 10 seconds. So that's the gap closer. That'll be really helpful. Paladin in PvP. Cover. Cover changes. Oath cost gauge has been removed. The effect depletes oath gauge by 25 periodically when active has been removed. Increases damage taken by self has been changed from 10% to 20%, so you'll take more damage with cover. But the recast time has been increased from 3 to 30 seconds, and the duration of 6 seconds has been added. Hallowed Ground has not changed in PvP, 5 seconds still. And then Atonement has been added to PvP, delivers an attack with a potency of 1400, restores 500 MP, increases your oath gauge by 5, can only be executed while under the effect of Sword Oath, which you'll get from Authority. Oh, actually, in PvP, you'll get it from Intervene. So Intervene Atonement. New PvP actions, because the PvP actions have changed. Low blow, potency of 400, 15 y'all knockback. Silences target with interject. Full swing delivers an attack with a potency of 600. Increases target's damage taken by 10% for 6 seconds. Reprisal reduces the potency of target's attacks by 20% for 6 seconds. And Rampart reduces damage taken by 25%. For Adrenaline Rush has been updated. Now the effect radius has been reduced from 50 to 30 y'all. And then you only have the Sword Oath gauge. And you only have the Oath gauge now. That is Paladin in PvP. Next up is Warrior in PvP. And again, I'll have timestamps to all of these in the description. 750 to 1000 for heavy swing and increases beast gauge by 5. Not at all. Maim has been increased from 750 to 1000. Seems like they really wanted to make tanks be able to do more damage in PvP. Potency has been reduced from 1250 to 1200 with Storm's Path. But it now absorbs 100% of damage dealt as HP. Great. Spell Cleave is the 2000, just like Confiteor. Reduces the recast time of Infuriate by 10 seconds has been added. The effect action changes to Inner Beast when under the effect of Defiance has been changed. The action changes to Inner Chaos when under the effect of Basic Chaos. Decimate has been added to Warrior's PvP pool. Delivers an attack with a potency of 1500 to all nearby enemies. Additional effect reduces the recast time of Infuriate by 10 seconds. Costs 50 beast gauge, and it changes to Chaotic Cyclone under the effect of Chaos. Tomahawk has been changed. Potency has been reduced from 500 to 400. Recast time has been increased from 5 to 30 seconds. Effect duration of Heavy has also been increased from 3 to 4 seconds. Does less damage, but now gives Heavy. Or a better Heavy. Potency on Onslaught has been reduced from 750 to 600. Recast time has been increased from 10 to 15. No charges. Interesting. Nascent Flash has been added. No change to home game. Grants Nascent Flash to self and Nascent Glint to target party member. Absorbs 50% of damage dealt as HP. Restores HP equaling that recovered by Nascent Flash. You also now have Infuriate, which grants Nascent Chaos. You have 2 charges. Inner Chaos delivers an attack with a potency of 2,500. Increases beast gauge by 25. Can only be executed while under the effect of Nascent Chaos. Effect ends upon execution. And Chaotic Cyclone delivers an attack with a potency of 2,000 to all nearby enemies. Increases beast gauge by 25. Can only be and then, of course, no other changes. Next up is the Dark Knight PvP. Potency has been increased from 750 to 1,000 on Hard Slash. Potency has been reduced from 1,250 to 1,200, but it restores 1,000 MP now on Siphon Strike. With Soul Eater, the potency has been reduced from 1,250 to 1,200, but it no longer restores MP, but it increases the blood gauge from 20 now to 25. Blood Spiller, potency has been reduced from 2,000 to 1,500. Dark Side potency of 2,000 has been added. The additional effect restores 1,000 MP has been added. The additional effect silence has been removed. Quietus has been added to Dark Knight's PvP moves. Delivers an attack with a potency of 1,000 to all nearby enemies. Dark Side potency is 1,500. Additional effect restores 500 MP for each enemy hit, but costs 50 of the blood gauge. Edge of Shadow has been added. It deals unaspected damage with a potency of 1,200. Grants Dark Side, duration for 15 seconds. Dark Side bonus reduces target's HP recovered by healing actions by 20%. That's going to be so useful against healers, man. Just have that Dark Knight run in and Edge of Shadow. Then you can just burst that healer down. Duration of 10 seconds. It's storming outside my house now. Extends Dark Side duration by 15 seconds to a maximum of 60 seconds. On Mend, potency is reduced from 500 to 400, but it no longer costs AP. Plunge, potency has been increased from 500 to 600, and it now stuns. Soul Survivor, which is still in PvP. Recast timer has been reduced from 60 to 45 seconds. Blackest Night, effect duration has increased from 5 to 6 seconds. The effect increases blood gauge by 20. When full 20% is absorbed, has been changed to grant Dark Arts full 20% is absorbed. And then Delirium is now in PvP for Dark Knight. Allows the execution of Quietus and Blood Spiller without cost. And then, of course, no changes other than to the job gauge that we already did. The Gunbreaker in PvP. All of this is new, so again, we're just going to try and burn through it real quick. Keen Edge, potency of 1,000. Cannot be assigned to a hotbar. Beats combo. Brutal Shell. Delivers an attack to a target. Combo off of Keen Edge. 1,200 potency. Absorbs 100% of damage dealt as HP. Creates a barrier which nullifies damage equaling the amount of HP restored for 10 seconds. Solid Barrel. Delivers an attack to target. Combos with Brutal Shell. 1,400 potency. Adds your cartridge to your powder gauge. Dashing Fang. Delivers an attack with a potency of 1,600. Grants Ready to Rip. Duration of 5 seconds. Cartridge cost is 1. Savage Claw. Delivers an attack to target. Combo action Dashing Fang. Combo potency 1,800. Grants Ready to Tear for 5 seconds. Wicked Talon delivers an attack to target. Combos off of Savage Claw. 2,000 potency. Grants Ready to Gouge for 5 seconds. Burst Strike delivers an attack with a potency of 1,800. Has a heavy plus 50% for a draw power bonus. Duration of 4 seconds. Draw power effect ends upon use. Draw Fortitude bonus is bind. Duration 2 seconds. Draw Fortitude effect ends upon use. It costs 1 cartridge. Faded Circle delivers an attack with a potency of 1,200 to all nearby enemies, and it has the same draws as Burst Strike. Continuation allows the firing of successive rounds with your gunblade. Dashing Fang may be followed by Jugular Rip. Savage Claw may be followed by Abdomen Tear. Wicked Talon may be followed by Gouge. Rough Divide delivers a jumping attack with a potency of 800. Additional effect adds your cartridge to powder gauge. Maximum charge is 2. Lightning Shot delivers a ranged attack with a potency of 600. Additional effect stun for 2 seconds. Brawl and Junction. Definitely Final Fantasy VIII reference. Afflict target with detrimental effect while granting self a beneficial one. Duration for 10 seconds. If target is a melee, DPS, or tank, lowers target damage dealt by 10% while granting self draw power. Alright. If target is a ranged DPS or healer, increases target's damage taken by 10% while granting self draw fortitude. For 10 seconds. Draw power effect increases damage dealt by 10. Fortitude effect reduces damage taken by 10. Gunbreaker is going to be really good in PvP. Aurora, healing effect over time, 500 potency, 15 seconds. When targeting a party member while under the effect of Brutal Shell, the effect is also granted to the target. Duration 10 seconds. Jugular Rip delivers an attack with a potency of 1000, absorbs 100% of damage dealt to HP. Will be executed when ready to rip. Abdomen Tear, 1000, same way. Eye Gouge, 1000, same way. And then no changes to the job gauge for number. White Mage in PvP. MP cost has been removed on Cure. Okay. It also no longer adds lilies, of course, but the cast time has been increased by 1.2 seconds, or by 0.2 seconds. Cure potency on Cure 2 has been increased from 4,500 to 5,000. Lilies have been removed. Cast time has been increased by 0.2. Glare is now added to PvP for White Mage. Deals unexpected damage with a potency of 1,400. Dia, unexpected damage over time, 300 for 15 seconds. And increases damage targets damage taken by 10%. That's really good. Afflatus Misery deals unexpected damage with a potency of 1,600 to target and all enemies nearby it, with an additional effect of Silence. I thought Silence were gone out of the game, but that's interesting. Duration for 2 seconds. Can only be executed with the Blood Lilies. Afflatus Solus restores target HP. Cure potency of 2,500. Additional effect regen for 1,000. Duration 15 seconds. Additional effect nourishes the Blood Lily. Healing gauge cost 1 Lily. A Lily is granted every 15 seconds while in combat in PvP. Divine Benison has been updated. The additional effect reduces Divine Benison recast time by a percentage corresponding to the number of healing lilies stacked to time action execution has been removed, and instead it adds a lily to your healing gauge if the barrier is completely absorbed. Damage absorbed by the barrier has been changed from 25% of the target's maximum HP to a damage equivalent to the equivalent of a 2,500 potency healing effect. Okay. Fluid Aura, and now is 10 more seconds of recast time till knockback with a bind. And Temperance has been added, increased damage dealt and healing potency by 20%. Healer PvP actions. Purify. It doesn't look like it's changed that much. I mean, it still just removes negative effects, but can be used regardless of your status option. So even if you're silent, you can use it now. That's cool. Rescue. It has a cure as well as the pull, which is nice. Attunement, which restores your own HP. It also now nullifies 99% of damage taken, but its movement or use of other actions per second. That'll be useful. Repose, puts them to sleep, 3 seconds. Protect, reduces damage taken by a party member or self by 20%. And then Imperium Rain, which is the Adrenaline Rush for healers, restores 50% of own HP and HP of all nearby party members. Removes stun, sleep, bind, heavy, and silence. Can only be executed with the Adrenaline game. Okay, let's take a look at Scholar in PvP. Recast time's been increased by 0.2 seconds again. No longer your physic no longer increases your fairy gauge, but the MP cost has been removed. Adlo has been reduced from 3,000 to 2,500. Damage absorbed by the barriers has been increased from 50 to 100%. Cast time has been increased by 0.2 seconds. Additional effect increased fairy gauge by 5. Broil 3 has been added. Deals unexpected damage with a potency of 1,200. It adds ether flow and increases your fairy gauge by 10. Iolysis has been added, deals unexpected damage over time, potency of 400, duration 50 seconds. Reduces target HP recovered by healing actions by 20%. Chain Stratagem has been changed, duration has been increased from 5 to 6 seconds. Reduces Aether Flow recast time by 5 has been removed. Recast time has been increased from 10 to 30 seconds, and the Aether Flow cost. Lustrate no longer increases your fairy gauge by 5, and no longer reduces Aether Flow recast time by 5. Aura Blast, recast time has been reduced from 60 to 45 seconds. Additional effect, heavy plus 50% has been removed. The additional effect increases fairy gauge by 10 for each enemy hit has been added. The additional effect grants 1 stack of ether flow for each enemy hit. Maximum 3 has been added. Dissipation has been added. Reduces spellcast time and recast time by 50% for 10 seconds at the cost of 50 fairy gauge. Summon Seraph has been added. Summon Seraph to fight at your side. While summoned, automatically cast Seraphic Veil on party members who take damage for. Seraphic Veil has been added. Restores target's HP. Cure potency 2,500. Additional effect erects a magic barrier, which nullifies damage, equaling the amount of HP restored for 10 seconds. And it doesn't look like any changes specifically to the job gauge for PvP. Astrologian. The additional effect, reduced light speed recast time by 2.5 seconds on Benefic, has been removed. Cast time has been increased from 1.3 to 1.5. Effect duration has been reduced from 15 to 10. MP cost has been removed. And the requirement, additional effect, activate when actions used to restore HP on self or party member on combat. The Benefic is now just like the other two heals, the other base heal. No MP cost. Cure potency has been increased from 4,500 to 5,000. Additional effect reduces light speed recast time by 2.5 has been removed. Cast time has been increased to the rest. Malefic 4 has been added. Deals unaspected damage with a potency of 1400. Additional effect reduces the recast time of Minor Arcana by 5 seconds. Combust 3 has been added. Deals unaspected damage over time, 300 potency for 15 seconds. It also lengthens weapon skill cast time and recast time, as well as spell cast time, recast time by 10%. I'm assuming that's on the target you drop it on, which is pretty cool. It basically just slows down your enemy. Gravity deals unaspected damage with a potency of 600 target and all enemies nearby it. Potency increases up to 400% as target's HP nears maximum. Also gives a heavy of plus 50%. Duration of 4 seconds. It does not share a recast time with the other actions. Essential Dignity now has 2 charges. Minor Arcana has a recast time of 1 second now and draws either Lord or Lady of Crowns, which is cool. Celestial Opposition has been added. It stuns all enemies for 2 seconds, all nearby enemies. Creates a barrier around self and nearby party members that absorbs damage equivalent to heal of 2500 potency, 15 seconds. It also grants healing over time to self and nearby party members 1000 for 15 seconds. That's pretty good. Celestial Opa got pretty strong in PvP. Neutral Sect allows spells to be cast immediately for 10 seconds. Aspected Benefit restores target's HP. Cure potency of 2500 with a regen for 1000 for 15 seconds. Erects a magic barrier as well, which nullifies damage equaling HP restored for 15 seconds. Can only be executed while under the effect of Neutral Sect. Pretty good. Lord of Crowns has a recast timer of 30 seconds, as does the Lady. Lord of Crowns increases damage dealt by a party member or self by 10% if target is melee, DPS, or tank. 5% for all their rolls. And the Lady of Crowns is the healer's looking pretty strong in PvP still. Not having to use MP for that base heal is going to make them a lot more survivable. And then with the changes to their damage, all having like a secondary effect as well, it's going to be pretty good for them. We get into melee. Bootshine with Monk has not changed. True Strike has been increased from 1000 to 1200. Snap Punch has been increased from 1250 to 1400. Dragon Kick has been increased from 500 to 800. Twin Stakes has been increased from 750 to 1000. Demolish has been increased from 500 to 600. The damage over time has been reduced from 300 to 200, but the increase in damage dealt has changed from 50 to 20%. So Monk's doing a lot of damage right away. Six-Sided Star has been added. Delivers an attack with a potency of 1600. Extends your increased lightning duration to maximum. And it does set its recast timer of 4.8 seconds for all other abilities, just like it does in regular. Tornado Kick has been reduced from 2000 to 1800, but the recast time has been reduced from 10 seconds to 1 second. Can only be executed while under the effect of Grease Lightning. 3 has been changed. It can only be executed while under the effect of maximum Grease Lightning. So yeah, as long as you have your maximum Grease Lightning, it will eat it, but you can do it immediately. Enlightenment has been added. Deliver an attack with a potency of 1400 to all enemies in a straight line before you, as long as you have the 5th chakra open. Shoulder Tackle has been added. Delivers an attack based on which fist status is active with 3 charges. Fists of Earth has been added, which increases your damage dealt by 5% and increases the potency of next weapon skill by 10% after use for 5 seconds. Fist of Earth reduces damage taken and then also is doubled by 10%, by the way, and also is doubled to 20% for 6 seconds after using. Fist of Wind reduces weapon skill recast time by 5% and allows the stacking of Force Grease Lightning. Fire Tackle crushes target, delivers an attack with a potency of 1000, opens a chakra. Let me execute one under the effect of fire, cannot be executed while bound. Earth Tackle delivers an attack with a potency of 800, has a knockback, and then Wind Tackle has been changed. Potency has been reduced from 750 to 600. Recast time has been reduced from 20 to 15. Additional effect, Grant's Grease Lightning has been added. No longer forces Riddle of Wind, and it can only be executed while under the Fist of Wind. Then for your melee DPS, the additional PvP actions are Bolt, which movement speed is increased for 6 seconds. Backstack, it's just a jump back for 10 yalbs. Blood for Blood increases damage dealt and damage suffered by 10%, so it's regular Blood for Blood. Bloodbath converts 50% of damage dealt into HP. And Fetter Ward grants immunity to stun, bind, sleep, heavy, silence, knockback, and draw in. Then the Adrenaline Rush of Raw Destruction has increased from 9,000 to 10,000. Bug seems pretty standard. Looks like it's going to be pretty powerful in PvP. Dragoon Dragoon now has increased to 1,000 on True Thrust, increased to 1,200, or decreased to 1,200 on Vorpal, and a decrease from 1,750 to 1,600 on Full Thrust. Fang and Claw has now been buffed from 1,250 to 1,400. Can only be executed. The requirement before where can only be executed when under the effect of Blood of the Dragon, Life of the Dragon has been removed. Impulse Drive is from 500 to 800 now. Chaos Thrust has been dropped from 1,250 to 600, which is a pretty big nerf. But the effect duration has been increased from 18 seconds to 21 seconds for your increase in damage of 20% instead of 15%. And then Wheeling Thrust is the same as Fang and Claw. Piercing Talon has been up to 800. The effect potency increases up to 400% the lower the target's HP has been changed to potency increases up to 300% the farther away you are from the target. Recast time has been increased from 2.3 to 30 seconds. Range has been increased from 15 to 20. High Jump has been added. Delivers a jumping attack with a potency of 1,000. Turns you to original position after the attack is made. Additional effect strengthens the gaze on your dragon gauge by 1 under the effect of Blood of the Dragon or Life of the Dragon with 3 charges. Fine Shatter Dive delivers a jumping attack with a potency of 600. The change are that it's been reduced to 600 from 750. Range is increased. The additional effect strengthens the gaze has been removed, and the recast time has been increased. Star Diver has been added. Delivers a jumping attack with a potency of 2,000 to target all enemies nearby it. Strengthens the gaze of your dragon gauge by 1. It will be executed when under the effect of Life of the Dragon. Elusive Jump is still here. It now also removes Home Gang, which is pretty sick. And then Blood of the Dragon increases potency of jump, and Spine Shatter Die by 50% has been removed. It now has a recast time reduced from 5 seconds to 1 second. Cool. Battle Litany has been added, increases damage dealt by self and nearby party members by 10%. Skullgirl's potency has been reduced to 1,200, but it's no longer reduced after the first enemy, so it no longer has fall off. Recast time has been reduced from 5 to 1 second, really. And of course, it eats 2 units instead of 3 now. And then Astron from 2,500 to 1,600, but it no longer has fall off, and the cost has been reduced to 3. So no terrible changes, some good buffs and some unfortunate nerfs on Dragoon, but it's still doing pretty good in PvP. For Ninja, we have Spinning Strike buff to 1,000, Gust Slash nerfed down to 1,200 from 1,250, Healing Edge nerfed to 1,400 from 1,500. Shadow Fang is changed completely. Delivers an attack with a potency of 800, damage over time of 200 for 15 seconds, increases damage you deal target by 20% for 15 seconds, and increases your Ninki gauge by 10. And it changes to Kyosho Ranryu when under the effect of Mudra. Baba Kakra, damage time is changed from physical to aspected, reduced from 2,500 to 1,600. No longer stuns, but its recast time has been dropped down to 1 second. You have an Ninki again. It adds Bunshin. Your shadow becomes animate, attacking enemies each time you execute a weapon skill. Ninki gauge 10 each time your shadow lends attack for 6 seconds. Prevents damage up to 20% of your maximum HP. That's cool. Maximum potency has been reduced from 2,500 to 2,000 on Assassinate. The additional effect Stun has been added. The hide bonus damage over time has been removed. The hide bonus increases target's damage taken by 10% has been removed. The effect Action changes to Raitom under the effect of 3 Mudra has been removed. Recast timer has been reduced from 60 seconds to 5. 3 Mudra has been changed. Ninki gauge cost has been removed. Now has a maximum of 2 charges. Recast time has been increased from 5 seconds to 0.5 seconds to 30 seconds. The effect Action changes to Kakurami, while under the effect of 3 Mudra has been removed. Jugulate Ninki cost has been removed. Now has a maximum of 2 charges. Recast time has been increased from 0.5 to 30 seconds. Is that the same? No, there it goes. Okay, I was going to say, that shouldn't have had a Ninki cost to begin with. Potency has been reduced from 500 to 400. The effect Action changes to Kyoton, while under the effect of 3 Mudra has been removed. Shikuchi now has 2 charges. Recast time has been reduced from 30 to 15 seconds. Kakurami, recast time has been increased from 1 to 45 seconds. Recast time requirement can only be executed while under the effect of has been removed. Goka Menkyaku deals fire damage with a potency of 1,200 to target all enemies nearby it. Additional effect increases Ninki gauge by 10 for each enemy hit. Kyosho Ranryu deals ice damage with a potency of 1,800. Additional effect increases Ninki gauge by 20. Trick Attack delivers a potency of 1,200. Increases target's damage taken by 20% for 6 seconds. That's going to be really useful. Only be executed while under the effect of hidden. It just still seems pretty good. Some unfortunate nerfs in some places, but I think it's going to balance out pretty quickly. For Samurai, the last of our melee, Hakaze has been buffed from 750 to 800. Yukikaze has been buffed from 1250 to 1400. Increase in damage dealt has been buffed from 15 to 20%. Effect duration has been increased from 18 to 20 seconds. Gecko has been buffed from 15 to 1600. Kasha has been buffed from 15 to 1600. Tsubama Gaishi repeats the previously executed Yaijutsu, can only be executed immediately following Yaijutsu. This weapon skill does not share a recast timer with any other action. So that's just the same ability, basically. Meikyo Shishui, recast time has been increased from 1 to 15 seconds. Has a maximum of 3 charges now, though. Hisatsu Sene delivers a pack with a potency of 2000, costs 50. Hisatsu Soten, recast time has been increased from 10 to 15 seconds. Kinky gauge cost has been increased from 20 to 25. Hisatsu Chieten, counter bonus has been increased from 5 to 10. Kinky gauge cost has been increased from 20 to 25. Effect duration has been increased from 5 to 6 seconds. Maximum number of counters increased from 3 to 5. Higenbana, potency has been reduced from 1000 to 800. Additional effect reduces target's HP recovered by healing actions added by 10%. Additional effect, if the target is suffering from Higenbana inflicted by you, increase the effect duration up to 30 seconds, up to a maximum of 60 seconds has been added to 50. Kinkagoken, potency is reduced from 2000 to 1600. Potency is no longer reduced after the first enemy, though there is no fall off. Additional effect, 10 Yalm knockback has been removed. Additional effect increases Kinky gauge by 10 for each enemy hit has been added. Midori Setsugeka, potency has been reduced from 3500 to 2400, unfortunately. Additional effect increased Kinky gauge by 20 has been added. Kaishi Higenbana delivers an attack with a potency of 800. Additional effect damage over time, potency 300, duration 30 seconds. Additional effect targets HP recovered. Healing actions by 10%, duration 30 seconds. Additional effect Kinky gauge by 50 if target is KO'd before effect expires. Additional effect if the target is suffering from Higenbana inflicted by you. Increase the effect duration by 30 seconds, up to a maximum of 60 seconds. Execute following Higenbana. The weapon skill does not share recast timer with any actions. So you could theoretically Kaishi Higenbana right after Higenbana and double up on Kaishi Goken. Delivers an attack with a potency of 1600 to all enemies in a cone before you. Increase Kinky gauge by 10 for each enemy hit. Will be executed following Tenka Goken. Kaishi Setsugeka delivers an attack with a potency of 2400. Increase the Kinky gauge by 20. Will be executed following Midai. No other big changes there that I can see. So yeah, the melee are still looking really good. I think all of them look pretty solid. We now get into our ranged DPS. Caustic Bite, potency has been increased from 250 to 400. Damage over time, potency has been increased from 250, decreased from 250 to 200. Effect duration has been increased from 15 to 18. Storm Bite, potency has been increased from 500 to 600. Effect duration increased from 15 to 18. New ability, Burst Shot, delivers an attack with a potency of 1000. Minuet, Payon, additional effect, grants repertoire if used on target suffering Caustic Bite effect by you. Increase soul gauge by 5 if used on a target suffering Storm Bite inflicted by you. That's pretty cool. Apex Arrow delivers an attack with a potency of 1000 to all enemies in a straight line before you. Soul Voice gauge cost is 50. Potency increases as Soul Voice gauge exceeds minimum cost, increasing up to 200%. It consumes the Soul Voice gauge upon execution. Imperial Arrow is now an ability. Potency has been reduced from 1000 to 800. Additional effect grants repertoire if under the effect of the Wanderer's Minuet or Army's Payon has been added. Additional effect increases Soul Voice gauge by 5 if under the effect of the Wanderer's Minuet or Army's Payon has been added. Now has 3 charges. Recast time has been increased from 5 to 15 seconds. Wanderer's Minuet, potency has been reduced from 1000 to 600. The effect action changes to pitch perfect while under the effect of the Wanderer's Minuet has been added. Potency has been reduced from 1000 to 600 on Army's Payon. And then action changes to Barrage while under the effect of Army's Payon has been added. Repelling Shot, potency has been reduced from 500 to 400. Additional effect Bind has been removed. Additional effect increased weapons potency has been added. Recast time has been increased from 10 to 30 seconds. For Troubadour, the Wanderer's Minuet effect potency has been increased from 5 to 10%. Army's Payon effect has been changed from reduces damage to 5% to reduces weapon skill cast time and recast time as well as spell cast time and recast time by 10%. Recast time has been reduced from 45 seconds to 30 seconds. With Pitch Perfect, the Wanderer's Minuet effect potency has been increased from 5 to 10%. Army's Payon effect has been reduced or changed from Reduces damage taken by 5% to reduces weapon skill cast time and recast time, as well as spell cast time and recast time by 2%. Recast time has been reduced from 45 to 30 seconds. And barrage number of strikes for a single target weapon skill has been reduced. So some flat buffs, some flat nerfs, and then barrage changing. But I think most of it's pretty good. Building up some good changes around Troubadour and Pitch Perfect. Then for our range DPS actions, Leg Graze still gives the heavy for 4 seconds. Foot Graze binds the target for 2 seconds. Head Graze silences the target for 2 seconds. Arm's Length nullifies draw-in effects as well as all other effects. Reduces damage taken by 20% off for 10 seconds. But it fades after nullifying one adverse effect. Pretty good, though. Not bad at all. And then Peloton increases your movement speed of self and nearby party members. And then changes to the Adrenaline Rush for range. Potency has been increased from 6,000 to 500. No longer reduced after the first enemy. And the effect duration has been reduced from 15 seconds. Still, no longer reduced after the first enemy is a pretty big change for the limit break for range DPS in PvP. Machinist will basically be brand new again. Increase to heat gauge has been reduced from 10 to 5. Requirement can only be executed with a Gauss barrel attached, and while your heat gauge is 50 or higher has been removed for heated split shot. Heated slingshot potency has been reduced from 1250 to 1200. Split shot's no longer a combo action, and then the same heat changes. Heated clean shot potency has been reduced from 1500 to 1400. Slingshot's no longer a combo action, and the same heat changes. Drill delivers an attack with a potency of 800. Potency increases up to 300% as your HP decreases. Wow. Increases your heat gauge by 10. Does not share recast with anything else. Air Anchor delivers an attack with a potency of 1200. Potency is tripled if target is under the effect of stun or sleep. Increases heat gauge by 10. Auto Crossbow deliver an attack with a potency of 1200 to all enemies that cone before you, increasing 10 for each enemy hit. Bio Blaster delivers an attack with a potency of 400 to all enemies that cone before you. Damage over time effect of 400 potency for 12 seconds. Also increases the damage you deal with the target by 12 seconds, by 20% for 12 seconds. Ricochet delivers an attack with a potency of 800 to target all other enemies nearby it with 3 charges. Wildfire, a portion of the damage compound has been reduced from 33% to 25%, but effect duration has been increased from 5 to 6 seconds. Blank, potency has been increased from 500 to 600. Stun has been added, and the recast time has been increased from 10 to 30 seconds. Hypercharge has been added. Release the energy building in your firearm. You also get to overheat for 5 seconds. It's overheat duration by 5 seconds to a maximum of 10 seconds. Cost 50 heat gauge. And then Heat Blast delivers an attack with a potency of 1200. Additional effect reduces the recast time of Ricochet by 15 seconds. Can only be executed when firearm is. Machine looks pretty good. 300% as your health goes down, man. That's a lot of damage. Dancer! Again, all of this is basically new. Delivers an attack with a potency of 1000 with Cascade. Event action changes to Reverse Cascade while under the effect of Avant. Action changes to Emboit while dancing. Fountain delivers an attack to target. Combo action, Cascade or Reverse Cascade with potency of 100. Combo bonus grants a 4-fold feather. Changes to Fountain Fall under effect of Avant. Changes to Emboit while dancing. Saber Dance delivers an attack with a potency of 2000 to target all enemies nearby it. Increases damage dealt by self or party member designated as your dance partner by 10% for 2 seconds at the cost of 50 Esprit. Fan Dance delivers a attack with a potency of 800. Additional effect reduces recast timer of Fan Dance 3 by 5 seconds. Can only be executed while in possession of 4-fold feathers. Costs 1 4-fold feather and it changes to get while dancing. Fan Dance 3 delivers an attack with a potency of 1600 to target and all enemies by it. Additional effect reduces damage taken by self and party members designated as your dance partner by 10%. Duration 10 seconds. Can only execute while in possession of 4-fold feathers. Also costs 1 4-fold feather. Standard step. Begin dancing. Granting standard step for 10 seconds. Action changes to standard finish while dancing. Otherwise, it's exactly the same as regular dancing. Technical step is the same way. 10 seconds. Technical step. Curing Waltz restores own HP and the HP of all nearby party members. 2500. Cure potency. Party member designated your dance partner will also heal self and nearby party members. Closed position. Grants you closed position. Designates a party member as your dance partner. Allowing you to share the effects of standard finish. Saber Dance. Fan Dance 3. Curing Waltz. Party member. En avant. Quickly dash. 10 yawns forward. Additional effect grants en avant. Duration for 5 seconds. Maximum 3 charges. Effect fades upon execution of Reverse Cascade or Fountain Fall. Reverse Cascade delivers an attack with a potency of 1800. It will be executed while under the effect of en avant. Effect fades upon execution. Fountain Fall delivers an attack to target. Cascade combos with Cascade or Reverse Cascade. Combo potency 2000 grants a fourfold feather, can only be executed while under the font. Point is form the point. Jaunt, jet, and pirouette are the same way. Standard finish delivers the attack to all nearby enemies. Potency increases with proximity to enemies up to 10%. 0 steps is 400, 1 step is 800, 2 steps is 1200. Step bonus grants standard finish and aspirate to self and party member designated your dance partner. Damage bonus and standard finish varies with numbers of steps at 1 step 2%, 2 steps 5%. Reduces weapon skill cast time and recast time, as well as spell cast time and recast time based on number of steps. Aspirate effect, 20% chance to increase aspirate gauge by 10 upon landing its weapon skill or attack for the next 60 seconds. Triggers the cooldowns. Standard step, still really powerful. Technical steps the same way, except the difference is 0 steps is 400 potency, 1 step is 800 potency, 2 steps is 1200 potency, 3 steps is 1500 potency, 4 steps is 2000 potency. 1 step is 1%, 2 steps is 2%, 3 steps is 3%, 4 steps is 5%. And then finally, ending, which ends dancing. No changes to the job. Dancer looks like it's going to be really powerful in PvP. I'm curious how many steps you'll be able to get off while you are being attacked, while people are trying to stun you. But it seems pretty good. Finally, we get into our casters. For Black Mage, potency has been dropped from 1250 to 1200 on fire. The effect spell has no casting time if executed while under the effect of Umbral Ice has been removed. Cast time has been made instant. Blizzard, potency has been increased from 750 to 800. Same thing as fire. Thunder, potency has been reduced from 500 to 400. Damage over time, potency increased from 300 to 400. Cast time has been reduced from 1.8 to 1.5. And the MP cost has been reduced from 1500 to 1000. Throw those thunders out there. Enochian just says revision can no longer be executed. So I guess it can only be executed while under the effect of Astral Fire, Umbral Ice. You can no longer just click it, I suppose. Foul, potency has been reduced from 4000 to 3200. Potency is no longer reduced after the first enemy. Now shares a recast time of Flare and Freeze. Recast time has been increased from 2.3 to 30 seconds. Cast time has been reduced from 2.8 to 2 seconds. The effect of the knockback has been added, so a 10 yalm knockback to enemies on the target. The requirements can only be cast while under the effect of Polyglot, cannot be cast while under the effect of either Astral Fire or Astral Ice have been removed. Xenoglossy has been added, deals unaspected damage with a potency of 3200. Can only be executed while under the Polyglot, aids upon execution. Ethereal Manipulation now has 2 charges, and the recast time has been halved to 15 seconds. Convert, that was the name of the ability. Convert has had its recast time reduced from 60 to 30 seconds, and the effect resets Swiftcast and Ethereal Manipulation and recast have been removed. Thunder 2 has had its dot increased by 100 to 400 potency. Fire 4 has had its potency reduced from 2500 to 24, and the cast time has been increased from 1.8 to 2 seconds. Blizzard 4 has had its potency increased from 1500 to 1600. Cast time has been increased from 1.8 to 2 seconds. No longer requires Enochian to execute. Flare potency has been reduced from 25 to 24, but it no longer has drop off. 2400, that is. Effect duration is increased from 3 to 4 seconds. Cast time has been reduced from 2.8 to 2 seconds. Now shares a recast timer of Freeze and Foul. Recast time has been increased from 2.3 to 30 seconds. The requirement for execution has been changed from can only be cast while under the effect of Astral Fire and Polyglot. It can only be cast under the effect of Astral Fire. Polyglot no longer ends upon use. That's pretty big. And then Freeze the same way, with the increase from 15 to 16 and the same changes as Flare. Then for our caster PvP actions, Drain delivers attack with a potency of 500. Potency increases up to 500% as your HP increases. That's pretty crazy. And absorbs 200% of damage dealt as HP. Phantom Dart deals unaspected damage with a potency of 1000. Additional effect increases damage you deal to target by 10%, 10 seconds. Swiftcast, it's Swiftcast. Addle reduces the potency of target's attack by 20% for 6 seconds. And Mono Ward creates a barrier that nullifies damage, totaling up to 20% of maximum HP. Duration 6 seconds. Additional effect restores 2500 MP. The barriers can be absorbed. And then Cometeor, the limit break has changed. Potency is increased to 5000. No longer has drop off. And the duration effect has reduced from 15 to 10. So pretty good. Black Mage looking really powerful in PvP. Summoner in PvP. Potency for Ruin 3 has been increased from 750 to 1200. Cast time has been changed from instant to 1.5 seconds. The effect action changes to Ruin 4 while under the effect of Dreadborn Trance has been changed to action changes to Ruin 4 while Demi Bahamut is summoned. The effect action changes to Fountain of Fire, while Demi Phoenix is added. Bio 3, damage over time, potency has been reduced by half down to 200. The initial effect increased target's damage taken by 5% has been added, and the MP cost has been reduced by by 2/3, from 15 down to 500. Miasma 2 had the same treatment. Does not give the damage down or the damage up, but it is cast time instant now. Energy Drain, it's now a spell instead of an ability. Potency has been reduced from 1,000 to 800. Recast time has been reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. The additional effect absorbs 100% of damage dealt as HP and restores 1,000 MP has been removed. The additional effect Ethereal Attunement has been removed. Ether Flow gauge cost has been removed. The additional effect Ether Flow gives you Ether. Fester now deals damage with a potency of 500. Potency when target is inflicted with either bio or miasma has been increased from 750 to 1,000. Additional effect Ethereal Attunement has been removed. Recast time has been reduced from 5 to 15. That from 5 to 15? You mean from 50 to 15? That's not how that works. It might be increased from 5 to 15. That's for sure a typo. Probably increases. Wither. Potency has been removed. No longer does potency on its own. It now inflicts targets in a cone with Bio 3 and Miasma 3. An additional effect if the enemy is suffering from a Bio 3 or Miasma 3 affected by you, the effect timer is reset, has been removed, but the additional effect increases target's damage taken by 5% has also been removed. The Wither is just Bio 3 and Miasma 3 on your Death Flare. Potency is no longer reduced after the first enemy, no more drop off. Recast time has been reduced from 30 to 15 seconds. The requirement for execution has been changed from can only be executed while in Drumborn trance. It can only be executed while Demi Bahamut is summoned. The effect action changes to Brand of Purgatory when Demi Phoenix is summoned has been added. Now be assigned to a hotbar. Summon Bahamut. Summon duration has been reduced from 20 to 15 seconds. The requirement for execution has been changed from 1 unit of Red Firm Aether to 2 units of Ether Flow. The recast time has been increased from 10 to 30 seconds. The effect action changes to Enkindle Bahamut when executed while Demi Bahamut summoned has been removed. The effect action change summon Phoenix when Demi Bahamut returns has been added. Kindle Bahamut now has a recast time reduced from 30 to 15 seconds. The effect action changes to Kindle Phoenix when Demi Phoenix is summoned has been added. Can now be assigned to a hotbar. Ruin 4. Potency has been increased from 15 to 1,600. Requirement for execution has been changed from can only be executed while in the trance. Can only be executed while Demi Bahamut is summoned. Cast time is reduced from 1.8 to 1.5 seconds. Then we have Fountain of Fire. Deals fire damage with a potency of 1,000. Executed while Demi Phoenix is summoned. Brand of Purgatory. Deals fire damage with a potency of 1,500 to target calling me by it. Executed while Demi Phoenix is summoned. Summon Phoenix. Summons Demi Phoenix to fight by your side. Each time you cast a spell on an enemy, Demi Phoenix will execute Scarlet Flame on the target. Duration of 15 seconds at 2 Ether Flow cost. Will only be executed after summoning Demi Bahamut. Enkindle Phoenix orders Demi Phoenix to execute Revelation. Wormwave has been changed. Potency has been reduced from 500 to 400. Akborn no longer has drop off, which is nice. 1,000 flat. Scarlet Flame deals unaspected damage with a potency of 600. Revelation deals fire damage with a potency of 1,500 to target all enemies nearby it. Everlasting Flight, which is, as soon as it's summoned, it triggers. Gradually restores own HP and the HP of all nearby party members with 1,000 cure potency. Not bad at all. Summoners still looking pretty good. And then finally, we have the Red Mage. Enchanted Reposed. Potency has been reduced from 1,750 to 1,600. Enchanted Zverchow. Potency has been reduced from 3,000 to 1,500. Enchanted Redoublement. Potency has been reduced from 2,250 to 2,000. Verse Stone. Potency has been increased from 1,000 to 2,000. Cast time has been increased from 1.8 to 2 seconds. Increase to white mana has been reduced from 15 seconds to 10. The additional effect grants dual cast, allowing next spell to be cast immediately has been changed to grants dual cast when spell is cast with a cast time. And it'll be exactly the same for fire. Enchanted Reprise has been added. Delivers an attack with a potency of 2,000. Additional effect Silence. Duration for 2 seconds. And the balance cost is 25 black to white. Vercure has been changed. Your potency has been increased from 2,000 to 2,500. Cast time has been increased from 1.3 to 1.5. The additional effect increases both black mana and white mana by 5 when used to restore HP on self or a party member when combat has been removed, and instead the MP cost has been increased from 50 to 25. People were using it a little bit too much, I think, for what they wanted. Core. Potency has been increased from 750 to 800. The additional effect inflicts target with heavy for 3 seconds if suffering from a monomaki effect inflicted by you has been removed. The additional effect, heavy plus 50%, has been added. Now has a maximum of 2 charges. Recast time has been increased from 10 to 30 seconds. Displacement, potency has been increased from 7 to 800. Additional effect binds targets for 2 seconds if suffering from a monomaki effect by you has been. The additional effect bind has been added. Now has a maximum of 2 charges. Recast time has been increased from 10 to 30 seconds. Engagement has been added. Delivers an attack with a potency of 1200. Additional effect creates a barrier around you that absorbs damage only 20% of your maximum HP for the next 6 seconds. Magnification. Recast time has been reduced from 45 to 30 seconds. The additional effect resets core and displacement recast timers have been removed. The additional effect reduces the recast time of both core and displacement by 30 seconds has been added, which will make them ready to go again right away. For arrow, recast time has been reduced from 45 to 30. That's one. There it goes. Potency has been reduced from 1750 to 1000. Increases to white mana has been reduced from 15 to 10. It'd be the same. Yeah, exactly the same for Thunder. For Holy, potency has been reduced from 3000 to 2400. The additional effect restores 1500 MP has been removed. And it's the same for Flare, except that it restores 250 MP has been. And then Scorch has been added. Deals unexpected damage to target. Combo action for Flare over Holy. Combo potency 3000. Additional effect increases both black mana and white mana by 10. Cannot be assigned to a hotbar. The range casters look pretty good too. Honestly, I think the people coming out the best of this for the tanks, for sure. I think the tanks are probably doing the best out of all these buffs. But I think everybody looks really good. The healers look solid. Melee looks good. Physical range looks good. Magic range looks good. With all that said, though, let me know your thoughts on the PvP changes in the comment section down below. I have been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers has to offer.